All right, let's talk about something that gives a lot of employers a headache. OSHA's Form 300 and 300A. You know the ones. They're super important for workplace safety, but wow, can they be confusing. So, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We'll make it simple and get you on the right track to being compliant. And look, let's be super clear about why this is a big deal. This isn't just about, ticking a few boxes. The stakes, they are incredibly high. I mean, just look at this quote. We're talking about penalties hitting 6 figures. And for what? Not for some huge catastrophic accident, but for simple paperwork mistakes. That's the crazy part. A tiny slip up on a form can lead to absolutely massive fines and really damage your company's reputation. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the costly mistakes you want to avoid. Then we'll meet the forms themselves, do a deep dive into the 300 and 300A, tackle the big question of what's even recordable, and then wrap it all up with a super handy compliance checklist. Sound good? Let's jump in. All right, first up, let's talk about those costly paperwork mistakes. Because really, the best way to prevent these errors is to understand where people usually trip up. And this right here, this is the real kicker. A huge number of OSHA citations every single year aren't for, genuinely unsafe workplaces. No, they're for administrative stuff. A missed deadline here, the wrong form there, or just not understanding a rule. These are almost all totally preventable slip-ups that can make a really great safety-focused company look, negligent. So how do we avoid those mistakes? Well, you've got to know the key players, right? Let's meet the forms. Think of them as a team. They all work together in what's often called the record-keeping triad. So here's how the system flows. It all starts with Form 301. That's the super detailed report for a single incident. All that info then gets put onto Form 300, which is your running log for the whole year. And then, at the end of the year, everything from the log gets boiled down into the Form 300A, the summary. For today, we're really going to zero in on the big two. That's the log and the summary. Okay, let's dive into our first form, the Form 300. The absolute best way to think of this is as your master list. It's the complete record of every single incident for the entire year. Now, the key thing to get here is that this isn't a do it once and forget it kind of thing. It's a living document. It's dynamic. Every single time a recordable incident occurs, you add a new line. It's basically the running story told in chronological order of your company's safety for that year. And here's what it actually looks like. This is the Form 300. See all those columns? You've got the employee's name, their job title, the date of the injury, and the nitty-gritty details of what happened. This is your internal confidential record. Okay, if there's one number you burn into your brain today, make it this one. 7. Just 7. The second you find out about a recordable incident, a timer starts. You have exactly 7 calendar days to get that information onto the Form 300 log. And yeah, I said calendar days. Weekends count, holidays count. That's a super important detail that trips a lot of people up. Now hold on, there's a really important exception to that employee name rule. For some really sensitive situations, what OSHA officially calls privacy concern cases, like the ones you see here, you absolutely do not put the employee's name on the log. Instead, you just write privacy case. This is all about protecting that person's confidentiality. You'll then keep a separate, totally secure file that connects the case number to their name, but that's kept private. All right, let's switch gears to the second key form, the 300A, which is the summary. So if the Form 300 is your private, detailed diary for the year, think of the 300A as your public report card that everyone gets to see. So what this form does is it takes all those individual stories from your 300 log and just rolls them up into totals. Simple numbers. How many cases did we have? How many days were people away from work? It's a high-level snapshot. And the whole point of it is transparency. It has to be posted where your employees can see it, so they get a clear picture of the company's safety record for the year. And when you look at it, you can instantly see the difference, right? This is the 300A. There are no names, no juicy details about what happened. It's literally just boxes for the total numbers. This is the one that goes up on the wall for everyone to see. And listen, the rules for this one are super strict and non-negotiable. First, you've got a specific window to post it. February 1st all the way through April 30th. Second, and this is huge, you only post the summary, never ever the detailed log. Third, a company executive has to physically sign it, putting their name on the line that it's accurate. And finally, and don't forget this one, even if you had a perfect year with 0 incidents, you still have to fill out the form with a bunch of zeros and post it. no exceptions.
Oh, and don't you dare throw these forms out when the year is over. The law is clear. You have to keep the 300 log and the 300A's summary on file for 5 full years after the year they're for.
Okay, now we're getting to the absolute heart of the matter. This is probably the #1 spot where people get confused. How do you even know if an incident is recordable to begin with? It all boils down to one critical distinction. So let's just ask the question straight up. What's the trigger? Where's the line? When does a little cut or a minor strain stop being just a thing that happened and become an official, needs to be on the books OSHA case? Well, OSHA actually gives us a really clear 5-point test. An incident has to be recorded if it's work-related and it results in any one of these 5 things: death, loss of consciousness, days away from work, restricted work, or a job transfer. Now those first 4, they're pretty cut and dry, but it's that last one, medical treatment beyond first aid, that's the real gray area for a lot of folks. And this is where we clear it all up. Medical treatment, the stuff that is recordable, is things like getting prescription meds or needing stitches. On the other hand, first aid, which is not recordable, is a very specific list of things. We're talking about over-the-counter Tylenol, cleaning a cut, slapping on a Band-Aid or a Steri-Strip, or using a hot or cold pack. OSHA has a full list, and honestly, getting to know that list is the secret to not over-reporting every little thing that happens.
Whew, okay, that was a lot of info, right? So let's pull all the most important pieces together into a simple checklist you can use to make sure you're staying on track.
Okay, here are the absolute non-negotiables. Number 1, record incidents on Form 300 within 7 calendar days. 2, post that 300A summary between February 1st and April 30th. 3, keep all your forms for 5 years. And 4, don't forget to check OSHA.gov because a lot of places now have to submit their data electronically too. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Is your record keeping an asset that's actively protecting you, or is it a liability just waiting to be discovered? Because when you do it right, it's not just about compliance. It's a shield for your organization and proof of your commitment to safety. But when you do it wrong, well, it's like a ticking time bomb. The choice of which one it is really up to you.